All right, what is up, you guys? It is Jake here, bringing you all another Madden 23 video. Today, it is going to be week 4 in yet another AFC East opponent matchup here. Ravens went to New York to take on the Jets in week 1. I got away from that one with a pretty, kind of a nail-biting victory. That was a fun one. They go ahead and take care of the Dolphins at home pretty handily in week 2 versus Teddy Bridgewater with Tua out with injury. And then they went up to New England last week and they had a big comeback victory over Mac Jones and the boys up there with the Patriots. So 3-0 on the season for the Ravens, as you can see me doing a little QB praise there. The media was gathered up there in front of me to talk about what had been going on in the first 3 weeks. And yeah, I went ahead and praised our quarterback for the hot start that I was talking about there. So in keeping with the realism here, you see me pulling up the negotiations. Lamar, it says he's ready to negotiate in the game, but as far as real life, he said that he had set a deadline prior to the regular season and that he was not going to want to. So I'm going to go ahead and ignore that for the time being, and I'm not even totally sure about like the future of this series beyond this regular season, just because you have new games come out every year. It just feels like kind of a weird timing thing there. So you can see me making my preparations here for the Bills in what I expect to be probably a very tough game. You would think probably the toughest game of those first 4 that you see on the schedule there. Obviously, it's a home game, and they had to go on the road to take on the Jets and the Patriots, but this is up against arguably the favorite in the AFC right now in the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen and all the talent that they've accumulated. Von Miller this year was one of their big ticket signings, and yeah, they just they figure to be right in the mix there at the top of the AFC like they have been for really the last couple of years. They really would have been in the AFC Championship game if not for some Mahomes magic, the likes of which we really had not seen in the AFC Championship game last year. So coming into this game, Ravens are 3-0. I didn't actually catch a glimpse at their record there, but you probably saw it yourself. So yeah, it's going to be kind of a battle of the heavyweights, and we're going to have to see what happens. This game is going to be played in the rain. Going to be really kind of wet and slippery. So I was actually kind of surprised the game didn't provide me with like the bad weather option thing that you get. Storyline, whatever they want to call it, where it's like, oh, do you want to run the ball more? Do you want to like try and pass the ball in these conditions? Didn't get one of those, but this is going to kind of be one of those games regardless. As you can see, the bank is kind of having one of its trademark just kind of rainy days here. It's just sort of part of life here in the mid-Atlantic with the weird weather patterns with the mountain ranges to the west, and then you got the bay right there, and then obviously the ocean not too far to the east. So definitely a weird area weather-wise, and you get a lot of that in football season. Like around this time of year in real life, I feel like it either is a game like this, or it's just baking hot, 90 degrees, because you're in a city and the sun is just kind of beating down on you. So yeah, this would be kind of probably your final game of September. It might be into October at this point, actually, because it is week 4 and they started on September 11th. But yeah, like I said, weather is maybe going to be a factor here, and Ravens are going to want to make a statement here against one of the top teams in the AFC, the one that is really drawing most of the headlines, in my opinion, and for good reason. But the Ravens kind of were a team like that as recently as a year or two ago, and after another kind of playoff disappointment versus this very same Bills team in 2020, and then last year, which was just kind of a lost season in the second half of the year, the Ravens have kind of turned into a little bit of a post-type sleeper to some people, and maybe not even a sleeper to others. I think some people maybe think that they've hit their ceiling, but if things are going to go like we've seen so far in the series, that may not be the case, as they, like I said, are 3-0 and hoping to keep that momentum rolling, as they've got a quick third down coming up here for Allen, who's going to throw it to his right, I believe to Dawson Knox, and he's going to pick up the first down. That looked a little dicey to me there as Kyle Fuller pushes him out of bounds, but here's a play action fake. Patrick Queen all over Josh Allen. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 20, and a really nice job there by Queen, who's having a good season so far, and he really needs one, but it's a nice job by him to get in there, get that sack, and keep the momentum of his own going. As Allen's got a 3rd and 13, he's just going to kind of dance around in the pocket, fire that one away, and they are going to punt this one away to Devin Duvernay, who's going to get up to about the 31-yard line, and that is going to bring him out Josh Allen's draft classmate, Lamar Jackson, and let's see what he's got today in this one. off to a solid start on the year. 6 touchdowns, 3 picks, some good rushing stats that they don't really show enough of in Madden, I don't think, especially for a quarterback like this. Like, there should be some kind of provision. Where they do show is his rushing production, because it's a big part of his game, and especially with me at the controls, it's going to be a big part of his game. So, yeah, him and J.K. Dobbins leading the way on the ground, 323 for 3 touchdowns for Dobbins through the first 3 weeks. So he's off to a really good clip so far. And obviously, Mark Andrews is too, who just completely gets away from the defense. This looks like the touchdown from his rookie year as he kind of Deons his way into the end zone there. The touchdown from his rookie year that he scored against the Chargers, he just completely got one-on-one and just took advantage of it. Not even sure who that was covering him, number 4. But yeah, a brutal start there for the Bills. And I think part of the storyline going into this was that Micah Hyde is going to be out for the year. And he would maybe be hypothetically one of those guys that's going to be helping to try and eliminate Mark Andrews, but they are not off to a good start in that regard so far. You got Allen scrambling to the left there, get a 2nd and 1 as Deion Dawkins actually gets hurt, which is a big one, and Allen's going to run this one up off the read option, keep it to the left. At about midfield is where they're going to be stopped on a little TFL there by Fuller. Bring up a 2nd and 14. Allen's got some time, but he's just going to move out of the pocket and then goose this one out to James Cook there. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 9. Throwing to his right, Gabriel Davis is wide open. I'm not sure what the coverage was doing there. I believe that was Marlon's side. And yeah, Gabe Davis just kind of ran past him. The safety help was not to be found over top. That might have been Williams on that side. And might have to take another look at that one as the Bills are kind of looking it over. But yeah, this game is all of a sudden 7-7. It looked like the Ravens defense was doing a good job taking away the deep stuff, but just kind of out of nowhere they strike with a shot down the right side. So all tied up, and here come the Ravens out of the pistol to try and retake this lead. First action of the day for Rashad Bateman is picking up a 1st down. Moving up to the 34-yard line, they're going to come out of the pistol going the other way as Jackson tries to do a little read option keeper of his own, a la Allen earlier, goes nowhere. You got a 2nd and 14. Little play action fake, and Lamar is going to throw this one to Andrews, who is kind of running a similar route to the touchdown that he scored, and he's going to sort of bully his way forward. He's well into Bills territory now. So 3 for 3 from Lamar to start the day, 117 yards in that 1 touchdown, obviously. He's cooking early in this bad weather. JK fought his way forward there. They've got a 2nd and 3. They'll go to JK again, and he does not quite get it. So 3rd down and 2. Gus Edwards is in the game from the I formation, and does he get there? Yes, he does. They'll give it to him. I think that might have been a little dicey, but we'll take it with a 1st down and 10. Jackson going to throw this one to the left. Devin Duvernay makes the catch down at the 1-yard line. I thought he might have even scored on that one as Patrick McCary goes down with an injury there. A little bit of a weird ending to that quarter, but Ravens are going to be set up really nicely here as you look at them sort of dominating this game statistically, especially with the passing yards there. But yeah, you've got a 2nd down and 1, or a 1st down and goal, from the 1-yard line. And JK is just going to kind of stroll in there like it's a nice Sunday walk out in the sun. And it is anything but that in this sloppy, raining game, but Ravens take a 14-7 lead. So all is sunshine and roses in their world right now as Allen is going to go from the single back to start their next drive. Little play action fake. He's going to go to the right side here, and that goes for about 3 yards. So they're still doing this kind of dink and dunk situation that the computer kind of tends to do a lot of the time here in this version, at least. It feels like something that they've done, I think, throughout the last couple of years, where it's just they favor the completion. They don't like to turn the ball over, which makes sense, I think, for a CPU. As Stephon Diggs makes the catch there, pulls away from Marcus Peters, and he is into Ravens territory now. Josh Allen 5 for 6 for 80 yards. And he's starting to heat up himself a little bit. And a really dangerous throw right in the direction of the defensive back there, kind of off his back foot again. The rush is not... There's me saying the rush isn't getting there as Patrick Queen gets his 2nd sack, but I was going to say that they're doing a nice job pressuring him today so far, but he's getting away from some of them. That one he did not, as that brought up a 3rd and 14, and then that brings in Calais Campbell with, I believe, Matabike to bring up a 4th and 18 on the split sack there. So that's going to be 14 and 10 after the Bills hit the field goal there, and we have a nice little game on our hands here. Duvernay just going to take a knee on that one in the end zone. And that'll take the offense out to the 25-yard line to see if they can go and score a touchdown and make this thing a 21-10 game before halftime. A little 4-minute offense here. But Jackson gets off to a bad start, getting sacked there by former Raven John Simon. You got a 2nd and 20. He's just going to load up and throw to Mark Andrews. His guy drops that one in between like 4 players. Loving these new passing mechanics, by the way, especially throwing to the tight end if you haven't noticed. But yeah, going to run some clock there with a little J.K. Dobbins up the gut. Now Lamar's going to take a little read option keeper and just run this one out of bounds. Wants no part of Teron Johnson there. Bringing up a 1st and 10 from the 36. Little pop pass here to Duvernay is going to go nowhere. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 11, which from the gun trips to the right. Jackson going to throw this one to Andrews again, who is just open in the middle of the seam, it seems, all the time. So 7 for 7, 189 from Lamar so far. A lot of those are to his guy Andrews as he tries to, I guess, throw it to him there, but hit as he throws. I think it hits off the helmet of one of his linemen here. Yeah, not even his lineman. It was the blitzer, and it just sort of pops up in the air, a little tip drill, and Bills are all over it. So what was looking like a really promising drive to make this game 21-10 and maybe potentially starting to get out of reach for the Bills. All of a sudden, they've got a 2-minute drill to take the lead themselves as Allen just loads up and throws deep in Fuller's direction. Again, not quite good enough for an interception, but he's being a little reckless with the ball today, that's for sure. But the Ravens get the stop there. Duvernay is going to field this one, and Ravens probably going to have some good field position, at the 38, and they'll have some time to work with here as... Little side note with Madden is they continue to just every single time the offense runs on the field, they show that J.K. Dobbins graphic. Like, we get it. He has this amount of yards this year. Like, show somebody else. As Mark Andrews makes yet another catch, moving into Bills territory from the 36-yard line. The Ravens are going again. He's going to dump this one off to Duvernay to the right, taking it out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Offensive line holding up pretty well today. I think he's taking a sack or 2, but they're doing a nice job up front. Jackson, okay. I must be the mush because every time I feel like I say something, the opposite happens. Devon Miller gets in there for half a sack. It's 2nd and 15. Jackson going to throw to his left, and that is going to be Duvernay again, who's been big on this drive. That'll bring up a 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Let's see what they got. Coming out of the I, heavy fake to Gus, and throwing this one over the middle to Isaiah Likely, the rookie tight end, getting in on the action. I believe that's going to be his first NFL catch as far as our series here goes. Looks like he got in there on the 2 tight end set. And that heavy play action fake, they bit hard on it to Gus Edwards. And he had 2 guys in his vicinity there, but just a nice little post route, toe drag swag. Isaiah Likely getting on the board for his first catch, and it's a touchdown. Love that. So Bills are going to try to go for something here, which makes sense. I mean, they got 2 timeouts in their pocket, but they're sort of dinking and dunking it. Throw that one to Knox over the middle. And maybe they were just trying to set up a Hail Mary. Looks that way, but it looks like Dawson Knox is going to get out of bounds at the 44-yard line, and that is going to bring up a 60-plus yard field goal that does not have the horses in the back, and the Ravens are going to take a 11-point lead into the locker room, 21-10. So a really nice first half there. You had the weird kind of miscue interception in the end zone, or the red zone, I should say, that would have made this a little bit more out of hand than it already was. But Bills, they're hanging in there. They're making some plays. The Gabe Davis touchdown kind of came out of nowhere. I'm not totally sure what happened on it, but them's the breaks, I guess, as we take a look what's going on around the rest of the league as the venerable Deshaun Watson leads the way for the Browns, 17-0 over the Falcons currently. He's got 2 touchdowns. Always nice to see the good guys getting a nice win there. We've got the Lions versus the Seahawks. Two teams I'm not expecting much from this year, but hey, Dan Campbell and the boys, 28-7 over Pete Carroll. That's nothing to shake a stick at there. They might be 500 before the day is over. Steelers Jets, we have some interest there. Mitch Trubisky, a very sick 1 for 5 and 16 yards, 10-0 as they're approaching halftime. Zach Wilson and Elijah Moore don't have stats registered, and they're on the board there. So it tells you what's going on in that game, and it's nothing pretty, that's for sure. So Bills got an 87% short completion percentage. Like I said, they're doing that kind of paper cut offense, which they're not really known for in real life. And I mean, they had the big Gabe Davis touchdown, so maybe they want to start trying it deep, but we'll see what we choose to do here as far as the halftime adjustments go. I think we will just kind of stick with the run inside. That's kind of been working for us pretty nicely, so we'll go ahead and allow JK to keep eating. Then see what we want to do here. I think we're just going to do a little defend medium pass type deal, and just kind of keep them throwing short, keep them trying to like paper cut us to death. I know they had the one long completion, but that just seemed like a miscue in the back end. And yeah, let's keep things contained and in front of us and try to run the lead, or run away with the lead, I should say. Not off to a good start there. Von Miller having a nice game with his 1.5 sacks so far, bringing up a 2nd and 23. Lamar going to try to force that one to Andrews, which makes sense. Andrews has been huge today, but yeah, that wasn't going anywhere. This one is to Likely, who lined up where Andrews had been. On a 3rd and long, really nice job by Isaiah Likely. 2 impact catches for his first 2 NFL catches, and that is huge as the Ravens do a little veer option. That's going to go nowhere. In fact, it's going to lose a yard as we go to the pistol, and Jackson is going to try to keep that one again and go nowhere again, so 3rd and 13. Andrews all day is just going to catch that, or not catch it, I should say. I think I'm just getting used to him catching those sort of over-the-middle one-on-one situations. That's one of the rare times that he doesn't. That brings up a 4th down, so maybe I'm getting a little cocky, but it'll be a 1st down and 10 from Buffalo's 31, and they've got some ground to cover, but all things considered, they're in a decent spot, especially there as Stephon Diggs just randies Marcus Peters and then throws the stiff arm in there for good measure. Peters, I believe, has an interception, or at least 2 this season, but he has had his moments, which he does in real life too, where he does give up the big play, and that was certainly one of them, as James Cook shrugs a couple guys off there, gets down to the 7-yard line. Bills very much in striking distance now. It's going to be Cook again, and he'll be tackled by Campbell. And the Bills are just going to punch that one in quite easily from Zach Moss, and that will make it a 21-16 game with a 2-point conversion, probably going to be coming up here from Sean McDermott. And they'll convert it easily with Dawson Knox. I'm not sure what was going on with the coverage there. I think I might have just blitzed everyone, and a little pop pass to him makes it a 21-18 game. Duvernay, some decent blocking, but he's not going to go anywhere with it. That'll put the Ravens at their 19. And not really running the ball here as much as I would hope, but no matter that, because Isaiah Likely gets open again, converts a 1st down again. Nothing but big time catches from the rookie 4th rounder out of Coastal Carolina, who's off to a really nice start in what is essentially his first serious NFL game action. 2nd and 1. Another play action fake, and it's going to be Likely again, who makes another huge catch well into Bills territory. I guess they started to key in on Mark Andrews, and I just said, hey, you want to go after him? Then I'll go after the guy who is maybe a little bit of a reasonable facsimile of him, and we'll see what we can do. So here comes Lamar with a little keeper, shaking some guys out, and that's down to the 12-yard line, and Ravens are in good position to give themselves a little bit of a cushion here with a touchdown. Lamar's going to run to his left. He almost broke away from that one, but he gets sacked by Greg Rousseau. 2nd and 14, they'll spread him out. Dancing in the pocket again, just kind of tries to dump that one off to Andrews and reclaim some yardage, but nothing there. And he's going to throw this one to his right to Bateman, and that'll bring up a 4th down and 1. Some good yardage on that, but he didn't get the 1st down. And they're going to go for this. We know the Ravens, and they're going to give it to J.K. Dobbins, who once again just kind of skips into the end zone, and Ravens are going to put that cushion that I mentioned back on the board, and that's a very good thing as the 4th quarter is approaching here. Nice job by Tyler Linderbaum on the block there. So Bill's got to start to pick up the pace here a little bit. They've been doing the dink and dunk thing. It's worked pretty well for them. But the quarter is ending. They've got 1 quarter to go, and they've got to start making some big plays, I think, through the air, because they've only got 8 minutes to work with in this 4th quarter. Let's see if from 2nd and 2 they can make something happen. Allen going to just kind of throw that one weirdly across his body to Diggs, who makes a nice move to shake the safety there, but doesn't go much further. That's going to be into Ravens territory from their 49 as Allen dumps it off to Diggs to the left again, brought down by Patrick Queen. They're starting to move with some urgency now, and the Ravens defense might want to try to come up with an answer for Stephon Diggs. I think the answer probably would have been to just trade for him like 3 years ago, but hey, they decided not to do that. Now they get to face him when the Bills come to town. Just like you're seeing in this one as they go from the 5 wide. Allen dumps this off to the right, and Marlon Humphrey, our guy, is all over it. I don't know why they were trying to force one in there to James Cook, but Marlon, what's Coffee going to do for a guy like him? He just jumps on that one. It was an absolute sitter. He had nobody in front of him, and that's probably guys going to do it in this one. I hate to say that just a 3-score lead is good enough against a team like the Bills, but with the way that their offense has been playing so far and the fact that we're in bad conditions, bad conditties as far as the weather goes, it just feels like that's maybe going to be the nail in the coffin as Patrick Queen lays down the business there on James Cook and then kind of trips over Kyle Fuller. A little bit of a weird play there as Allen throws that one in Marlon's direction again, who knocks it away. Tried to set up a screen there. That didn't go anywhere, and we've got them going from the gun on 3rd down and 10. He's going to do his little B-button Russell Wilson move again and just bring up a 4th and 10 doing nothing. Let's see if they can convert this one. They cannot, as Fuller is all over that one trying to go to Gabe Davis, and that will give the Ravens the ball back from 1st and 10 from the Bills' 37-yard line. As JK gets forward, he gets him in the safety. He just bowls him over, but there's guys there waiting to stop him as JK's got 39 yards on the ground, 2 tutties. He's having a nice game up to this point. And Ravens from the 14, 2nd and 10, dump it off to Mark Andrews. Are they going to get the touchdown here and really rub salt in the wound here for a little playoff loss revenge, or what's going to happen? 1st and goal. They've got 5 yards to go. They're going to try a little QB draw here. He gets brought down, so that'll be a 3rd and goal. They will try to throw this one to a little setup screen to Demarcus Robinson, but it just got kind of haywire and he didn't have anywhere to go. So 4th and goal, I guess they'll send out Justin Tucker to do what he does best, hit chip shots. And yeah, we'll see what happens, because unfortunately, that's not what I do best. Excuse me there. My voice crack is probably pretty apt for what I did on that one. I kind of just got a little lazy there towards the end of the game, and I just allowed that one to get away from me. Pulled that one way to the left from like literally 10 yards out. You do not see that happen with Justin Tucker, but guess what? It's a video game, and guess what? Sometimes things happen in real life. So you can say it's unrealistic all you want, but who knows? That'll bring up a 2nd and 19 as the Bills are on their kind of desperation drive here. 3rd down and 12. Allen's going to throw this one to his left, and he's going to complete it. Little fresh set of downs from the Ravens' 45-yard line. We'll dump off there as Hamilton with a hit stick. 3rd down and 2. Little completion there to James Cook. Clock really dwindling here, and whatever this is going to be, it's just going to be for a little bit of a redemption shot. It's not gonna do much for them as they heave one up to try and get that redemption, and they don't. But a little bit of a flag on the play, so that's probably going to be pass interference on the defense. So Bills are going to get an untimed down from their own 1-yard line, and let's see what they do with it. Absolutely nothing, as Marcus Peters makes the play on Diggs, kind of redeems himself a little bit there, not that it would have mattered, but the Ravens get a big 35-18 victory to put them to 4-0, just taking down an AFC heavyweight here. I don't know if, I really am even expecting this in real life, if we're being honest, at least not to this dominant degree, as Josh Allen just couldn't get anything going today. Lamar actually had a pretty nice game through the air, especially throwing to his 2 tight ends. Isaiah Likely, a big breakout game for him, so that's big. Something to track is, the Bills actually outran the Ravens today, 84-70 rushing yards. But yeah, that passing attack, man, it came through in the clutch for them. Even some guys like Duvernay making some plays through the air was big. I think Bateman had a catch or 2, so we'll pull up the stats. But just an overall dominant offensive game. I think the defense did really well too. You had Marlon kind of closing things out there with his pick 6. Like I said, that kind of put the game on ice. But yeah, 356 versus 275 passing yards between the 2 quarterbacks. Not what you would probably expect, as Mark goes for a cool 193 yards and a touchdown. He severely outpaced literally anybody else in this game as far as receiving stats go. But yeah, Patrick Queen, like I said, another nice game. He picked up a sack or two. And just a couple of these guys just making some plays. Marlon with the pick 6. Marcus Peters got picked on at times, but he also made some plays of his own. Kyle Hamilton getting involved downhill. So just another solid team win. And Ravens are 4-0 at this point. You love to see it. Didn't accomplish all our goals, but that's okay. You'll certainly take the victory. And then it makes me laugh seeing Kyle Hamilton's like avatar thing. They probably could have put some better effort into that, but whatever. As I upgrade him there at hybrid, that'll put him at a 77 overall. He's progressing nicely and getting closer to that hidden upgrade trait, dev trait that he has. Brandon Stevens will make him a hybrid as well. I think that's what he projects as anyway. So he's a 71 now. And we'll check back in on that QB1 thing that we were talking about earlier. And it sounds like Lamar really liked what I had to say and he took it to heart. It really motivated me to play well, and judging by the win column and stack sheet, it worked. So that's what I do, man. I'm just a motivator. I get these guys to go out there and play their best football. Glad to hear that it had a positive effect. He had a great game. Build on it, and let's keep this momentum rolling for the rest of the season. Indeed. So head of state, Lamar will have +5 medium and deep throw accuracy for the next 2 games, and his offensive lineman will have +5 pass block power and pass finesse power for the next 2 games. One injury to take note of is going to be Patrick McCary, who's going to be out for 4 weeks. That's our kind of swing tackle there. Michael Pierce is going to come back next week, actually, so that's big. But all in all, off to a 4-0 start this season. It's pretty big. You love to see it. Hope you guys are enjoying what you have seen up to this point with the series so far. It's been really fun to make, and looking forward to continue making it. So for the time being, peace out, you guys. Follow me on Twitter at Jake Luke. That's LOUQUE, and I'll be sure to talk to you guys later.